Hi, my name is Beth Azor, and I own shopping centers in South Florida. And this is my podcast, I Own a Shopping Center, Now What? So today I want to share with you some of the vendors that I use, that I've been paying for, many of them for decades, because we all need to hire these folks when we are investors and own shopping centers. Some of them might be local to South Florida, and some of you may be in South Florida, and some are nationwide advisors. So feel free to reach out to me for contact information, or maybe we can put it in the show notes. But so here we go. So first of all, I appeal my taxes on every property every year. And the group that I've been using for the last, I would say 5 years, is First Point Advisors, Nicholas Mao and Brian Potter. So I've been very, very happy with them. My accountants are Gerson Preston. They handle all of the tax returns for the properties and the K-1s. My land use counsel, so when you buy properties and you are trying to change the land use or the zoning, I've used him to get the cities to approve new paint colors. We've used him for parking variances, and his name is Bill Laystrom. In your markets, I think it's important to find the land use attorney who has been successful in the city that you are going to go ask for the change. So, ask around to other developers, other property owners to see who is the person that's been the most successful. That's why I use Bill. My contracts attorney is a firm by the name of Bilzen Sumberg. They're based in Miami. Adam Lustig does my transaction work. My wealth advisor, I have two different wealth advisors. My first one that I've been using for over 30 years, Family Wealth Advisors. They're more of a consultant on my investment portfolio that's non-real estate. Richard Grund is my guy. It's a small firm. Like I said, it's second generation now. I've been with them for over 30 years. I love these guys. They're great. And then my personal tax advisor, and we talk to him once a month, Larry West, and he's looking at our P&L, and he's more of a strategy guy for the businesses and the proceeds in the real estate. So Larry West. And then lastly, very, very important, my insurance broker person is Jamie Levenshawn. She's with IOA. She's been fabulous. We've just changed over to her. She's been after my business for decades, and we moved over to her in the last couple of years, and she's in a crazy insurance environment. She's been fabulous. She has gotten us some decreases. She's really looked at our coverage. She's questioned why we were carrying the coverage we did, and we've had discussions about that. We're about to do a huge renovation on one of the properties, so she looked at the insurance for the general contractor that's coming in. I've acquired a property that has a vape store, so I have sent her the insurance that the vape store has given me to take a look so that we can possibly get different or better insurance from him as a tenant. So she just goes above and beyond, and I'm very happy we made the switch to her. There's other vendors and groups that we use, but I thought this would be a good start to sharing that. I hear when people buy shopping centers, for example, they use the same attorney for the acquisition, the transaction, leases, land use, and maybe in a small town, you can do that, but I wouldn't advise it. For example, I have another attorney group, Chavez, they have a bunch of names in their name, but Robert Chaves, Chaves, he is my partnership attorney, and he also does my trusts and estates. He's out of Boca. So they do a fabulous job. I've been using them for a while because my guy that I had used for decades retired. So that's what happened with my insurance. My guy retired. It's, once you get to be my age, the people you've been using for years and years, they start to retire and you have to look for new people. And I've made changes over the years. At one point I thought maybe I should I thought that my CPAs and accountants that did my taxes should be strategists. And I've learned that they're really not strategists. They're execution people. They are the ones that get the taxes out. So that's why I brought Larry on board. So because he is looking at the properties and my personal tax payments, my business tax payments, we're looking at it differently than the CPA who's just getting the taxes, filing the returns. I had made a switch, and because someone said, oh, these guys, they'll do the strategy and the returns. And of course, they didn't do any strategy either. And they charged 5 times what the other group that I had for a very, very long time, Gerson Preston, was charging. So I went back to Gerson Preston and I'm so much happier. So it's not that when you hear me say I'm with groups for decades, it's not that I haven't tested other groups out or talked to a lot of people to see if I'm continuing to be with the right group. But I've shared with you all that I have a landlords group, right? A property owners group where we get together about once a quarter and discuss certain things. And a lot of times land use counsel, contracts attorneys, leasing attorneys, tax appeal folks, insurance, all of these come up at those meetings because we're in a local environment. Everyone in our group is from South Florida. We have about 10 people. So you and your markets should form a group like that so that you can share vendors, right? Or consultants that you use, because some of us have had more experience, better experience, different experience than you, and you can get recommendations. A lot of people ask me what we use for software. We use Rent Manager. We're very happy with it. We've recommended it to a lot of people that use it and they like it. So that's another one of our consultants that we use. So that's it for this week's I Own a Shopping Center, Now What? I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please share it, subscribe. And if you are interested, if you have any ladies in your life, send them to my conference in March, which is March 13th and 14th, the Women Investor Summit. It's in Fort Lauderdale, a mile from the Fort Lauderdale airport, and it is fabulous. So check it out. Maybe give it to your wives or sisters or mothers or daughters for the holidays. Have a great week.